Ask any developer what is the best part of their job, and many of them will tell you that they are glad to work remotely. Work from home became an increasingly attractive option once the situation in 2020 has took place, and it had remained one ever since. What's even more interesting is that many jobs for database people are remote by nature, meaning that most database companies didn't even change their working environment. The first thing you should know is that the database industry as a whole is very small, so if you don't already have a name for yourself, you would have the most chances to apply for jobs in companies that are not directly related to the database management system you want to work with. In other words, if you are after MongoDB jobs, search for database-related jobs not in MongoDB, but in companies that need MongoDB skills. Doing this will allow you to apply for jobs with a wider focus, but you will still be in a relatively small pool of applicants. Remember, there are many web developers, designers, security people and so on, but relatively few people very proficient in databases. The areas you should focus on are DBA jobs relevant to the technology you find yourself working with, database support engineer jobs, or jobs situated around system engineering and having a database focus. As already mentioned, the database industry is relatively small, so there aren't a lot of choices in the database space, but search around and you will certainly find something. What many people won't tell you is that you can also search for companies that do database related activities and ask them if they need assistance through their contact form or via email, even if they have no career pages. Produce a paragraph or two of what you can help the company with and contact them via email. This is a quite unusual approach, but it can certainly be a way to get a foot in the database door since almost no one does this, especially if the company is rather small. Once you find a company, it is important to come prepared to answer database interview questions related to the technology you will find yourself working with. Search for answers to database interviews on this channel and you will find the answers to all of your most pressing questions to help you pass a database interview. Remember, the database industry is small, but it is not impossible to become a top-notch database engineer. Subscribe to hear more about the database industry as a whole, and until next time.